when they open this foil, there's that little miniature black hole. And it sucks a guy into the foil, and he's gone. His desk goes, his lamp goes, his office goes, the whole building is going. Now the streets are going. Now the trolley cars are going. The people walking down the street are getting sucked into this thing. Oh, wow. That would be bad, wouldn't it?
Yeah, didn't you ever watch Tweety and Putty Cat where you put that black hole in the road and everything gets sucked into it, including everything gets sucked into it? It's the same principle.
Yeah. I wish you wouldn't use the word suck, because I kept thinking about that doctor today on that plane flight where the guy's, was close to dying because his bladder was, ready to burst, in flight because he couldn't urinate. And he was in screaming pain, and there was a doctor on board, so he takes all these little milk straws and puts them together and takes a, what do you call these, things they shoot you with, hypodermic needle, a syringe.
A syringe.
And puts all this together, but he has to siphon it to get it going. I'd rather siphon gas or diesel any day. Well, he saved the guy's life.
Yeah, before I get cut off, let me say real quick, the odds of him being on a plane with a doctor, and not just a doctor, but a MacGyver doctor, who's willing to do this and suck that stuff out to get it started.
Yeah, well, you know what? If I was a doctor, I would think twice about it.
I'm surprised he didn't say to the stewardess, "Can you help me out here?"
Could you imagine after you did that and everything you ate or drink till your mind clears, it's going to taste like urine?
I'm going to tell you, it's going to taste way more not like urine. It's going to be like other
Mountain Dew.
I don't know what, but it's going to be bad. That guy, poor guy. Oh boy.
I don't know. Maybe it won't affect him all because he's a doctor.
That could be, but boy, what's the odds of having a MacGyver doctor on a plane is willing to take one for the team, man? And then the patient, he's going to be willing to go for it because I'm sure he had no anesthesia.
Yeah, oh boy, I tell you. Oh, and guess what? It proves a point. We've been trying to figure out why he disappears. So we changed the time I had him call today to be on the show by 5 minutes and see if it made any difference. And it did. His Skype is only letting him talk. For, that is so weird. 3 hours and 45 minutes you're allowed to talk, and then they disconnect. No, 3 hours.
No,
even.
It's 4 hours on the dot because I called a little bit early, remember?
Yeah.
Quarter till.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
It's 4 hours. I'm allotted 4 hour phone call at a time, and that's it.
Well, that's because you're not an A host. You're a B host.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, if you're an A host, they'll let you go for 4 hours and 10 minutes.
It probably in the small print there with all them words. I just didn't see it. I couldn't see it. It probably got sucked in with that small hole in the gallbladder surgery all at once.
Yeah. A big shout out, to a good friend of ours, Earl Grey, with his song.
I love that song.
Seventh Sister. It just really is a good song. I could just listen to it over and over again. I got a lot of messages from truckers. They love it. And the new song from Metatron Power and Light, I really, really like that one, too.
I love that song, too. I just love that song. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That is a great song. Both of them.
Yeah, that one is called Another Life. It's a single. It's available right now. You can go to our website at www.nightdreamstalkradio.com. Scroll down. We have him and another group right now that we play their bumper music, and you can order the song online, I guess. And I really want you to support Metatron Power and Light. I tell you, she has a voice. It's just outstandingly is sexy, beautiful, and it just fits in with the music. Their music is all kind of paranormal, and it just goes into it. She puts her feelings into it.
Yeah, I love that. Plus, it's got that 60 vibe to it. That late 60 vibe. I love that kind of music.
70s. Man, I can tell you're a young fart.
Yep, I'm just a young turd, but but I'm still look pretty good for 74. I got to tell you.
Come on, you're not 74, okay?
I know, I'm just kidding you.
Yeah. I wish I was your age again. You know what I'd do different?
Tell me.
I'd never get a goat.
I wouldn't let you get a goat. If there's one lesson you learn in this lifetime, do not get a goat. And if you do get a goat, and they tell you it's a miniature goat, make sure you do your homework, look at the papers or something, because they may be telling you what you want to hear.
Yeah, well, I don't know. There's a lesson from God or from the spirits or from whoever I've been going through for the last 6 months. So I what can I say? I'm not upset. I don't, back 20 years ago, I would have called up the butcher and said, hey, come and get this goat and you can have it. But, I just look at, things happen and I just move on.
That's it. And that's all you can do. And you know what? Even in the negative things or bad things that happen, if you can look at the positive from it and what you've learned from it and go forward, you're raising your vibration, just like the lady said. You're one of the 70 million. You really are.
Well, tomorrow we're not going to be on the air because it's Thanksgiving. Undoubtedly, I'm going to be eating a TV dinner tomorrow because we're in our household. We're not going to celebrate it to this weekend when I have 8 children and I have a mass amount of grandkids. And they're not going to be here till Saturday. So tomorrow, I guess it's TV dinner time. But on the 29th, on Friday, we got 2 great guests. We got William Pullen back on. Now, he's an expert in reporting on UFOs and what's going on conspiracies and all that stuff. I mean, this guy is really into it and knows what he's talking about. And then we got Alex Smith as our second guest. He's with the Texas Society of the Paranormal Research. So we're going to be talking about, ghost hunting and stuff. But then on December 2nd, we got Jim Pendleton on. Now,
yeah.
You want to tell, you got about a minute and a half. You can tell people a little bit what happened in that RAF base in Woodridge, England.
Well, Jim Pendleton in 1980 was stationed. He was, I believe, a sergeant stationed at Rendlesham Forest. And it was like the day, I think, day before Christmas and day after, within a 3-day time frame, that UFOs were coming there. And he went out and investigated with a few other soldiers. And him and the one other man, he approached it. He actually seen a landed craft that looked was small, and he actually went up to it, touched it. He touched it. It was warm to the touch, and when he touched it, all these binary numbers came to his head, and it's all in his book, and he's going to talk about it. And that's what he went through. And, plus he was kind of interrogated, I believe, afterwards by, well, like you said, kind of like Terry Lovelace was with these men in black trying to brainwash them, tell them they didn't see nothing or don't say nothing. You know how it goes. And that's what he's going to tell us. It's going to be a great story from the horse's mouth, so to speak.
Oh, yeah. And they made a movie about that, too, also.
Oh, they did? I didn't.
Oh, yeah, really? Years and years ago. Oh, yes, about that RAF base and what happened, with the, reported light and aliens and UFOs and all that stuff. I tell you, we got great guests coming on and have had great guests. The same guests you'd find on those other shows. What I like about what we're doing now is we're on at 6 p.m. Pacific West Coast time, 9 Eastern time. So, a lot of people, I did this because a lot of people live in the Midwest or East Coast. And when we used to come on later, they used to complain that it was too late for them to listen to it. We adjusted it now. So, all across the country, you can at least listen to an hour or two before you go to bed and hear great guests. And that's what we're trying to do.
That's true. And you know what? Even the good thing is, here's the good news. Even if you miss it, you go to the website, you hit the little player, and you go right down. There's 300 plus shows, and especially the latest one you just missed.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a win-win situation. And for right now, you don't have to pay anything to listen to all the past shows. I mean, a lot of these talk shows, you go on to their archives, and they want money for you to listen to their past shows. So, in other words, if you didn't listen to it when I was on live, if you want to listen to it as a replay, you got to pay them. You know, I guess that's how they make their money. I just don't feel comfortable doing that.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of other ones too, I've noticed before. You've got to join some kind of thing and sign up and all this other stuff. It's so confusing, and it sometimes it takes forever to get there. And if you get anxiety over computer stuff about jumping through a bunch of hoops, I just say heck with it. But your website is right there. You get right to it, hit the player, and bam.
Well, I know it's hard. I use two pieces of software. I use one, it goes to the company that supplies it to the radio stations, okay? That's my main software. And then I use Speaker app, their broadcast app to feed out on the internet because it feeds out to everywhere I need to go. I find that most people, they find it too complicated. I get emails every day, James, saying they can't figure out how to log into the chat. And it's just, it's only a few people it get on it because they said it won't allow them to get on. Again, I was told by somebody on, that works for this company, Speaker, that I got too many listeners and that is bouncing people off when they try to get on chat. I don't know.
Yeah, and I think they might have a couple glitches in it. Maybe, I don't know. I know with my cell phone I can never get on it, but my laptop I could. But hopefully it gets worked out. But I think a lot of it is like you're saying. There's too many listeners. And it's like an overload, and it's just bouncing people out.
No, they can't log in. That's what they're saying. Now, I have never first time you told me that you can't log. You can log in on your laptop, but you can't log in on your phone. Right,
my cell phone, it keeps saying, don't recognize my password, which I know my password. I put the same password on the laptop and it goes right in.
That's what I've been hearing from other people, so I'm glad you brought that up because I forgot about that. I'm hearing that. Maybe it's because you got to buy the app from Speaker, their app, and then you can made for your type of phone, then you can get in and go through chat that way. When you're on your computer or laptop, you can just get in. That could be the issue because they do sell the app.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Now, it's weird because I used to be able to get on my cell phone. Then all of a sudden I couldn't. I don't know what caused that. It's weird. I don't know.
Well, maybe it's the ionic sphere discharging the sub-ionic sphere, and that's why you can't get on. I don't know. I'm just a radio talk show host.
Maybe somebody's playing around making black holes in my backyard and it's messing up my whole jive. You know what I mean?
I don't understand. Every frickin' Thanksgiving, I've been married going on 45 years. Why do I keep getting a turkey leg? They think I want the turkey leg. Okay? So every time we have turkey, here's the mashed potatoes, here's the olives, here's the potato salad, here's the carrot sticks, and here is the turkey leg. They don't realize I like breast. Why? But, I keep quiet because, with the amount of people that come in our house, we have like a 23 to a 28-pound turkey. And by the time they leave, the only thing that's left is bones.
I'm surprised that even last year got that many people, really. I'm surprised you don't have a turkey and a ham. Or
no, we do. Ham. After what you said, my wife went out and bought a spiral ham too for Saturday. I don't think I'm going to eat it unless it's well cooked. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do every time my wife makes like pork chops or a pork roast from now on, I tell you what, I'm going to kind of cruise out of my studio because that's usually where I eat dinner at because I'm working on the show. And I will sneak into the kitchen, stick it in the microwave for like 5 minutes, just to make sure it's well done.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I love ham, believe me, but I make sure mine's cooked to, at the specs that it needs to be cooked.
Oh, yeah. Well, I want to make sure from now on, so...
Yeah, I don't blame you, buddy. I'd want to make sure, too, after all the information that's out there. Imagine if this information was out there 50 years ago. We had this same technology.
Oh, yeah. Well, my friend, I want you to have a very good Thanksgiving, and hopefully you're not eating canned spam for Thanksgiving, James. Hopefully you're at